And finally, we taping the first episode of Ordinary Talk, man. So like I said before, it's just ordinary people talking about ordinary stuff. So, introduce my man Sam, my man Nick. Hey man, you gonna talk about ordinary stuff, man. So I kind of went through a couple questions on what they want to talk about. And the first topic is basically why people don't get married no more. So, what y'all think about that? Why people don't get married?
I guess my first thing I would say why people don't get married anymore is basically based off of assets in which you can gain. It's no more, I guess you could say, it's no more dealing with just the love part. It had more to what can you gain by marrying this particular person. So I think that's how a lot of people look at marriage at this point in time, at this time.
Okay. What's thinking, Nick?
Well, I think if you go back to the beginning of what marriage really was to begin with, I mean, even if you want to talk about Bible, even go beyond Bible, go caveman days, it was always about resources. It was always about something other than love, right? It was what you can do for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, for example, caveman days, he's strong, he can provide, he can protect. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because he loved the girl, you know what I'm saying? Because the girls needed him and he needed, to have children. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, I'm talking about Old Testament, the Bible days, they were talking about, it wasn't nothing about no love. I mean, hey, you got some property, you know what I'm saying? You married the girl off. It wasn't like, do you love her? No, it's just, that's what it was. So I think the reason why people don't get married nowadays is because basically women don't really need a man in this society the way it is. They don't need him. They might want him, but they don't need him.
They don't need a man?
I don't know what they need him for.
You tell me what they need a man
I mean,
for.
the way the society is now, right? I mean, women's independence and women's liberation, which I get that. I'm fine with that. I support it. But what that does is, where do we come in? What can we do for them? Besides give them some sex and give them a child. They can work. They can pay their own bills. They can have their own cars. They independent. So if they don't need us, what it is that they have options.
So it's the woman's fault that people not getting married, is what you said.
I'm not gonna say it's their fault. It's society has changed, period. It's not their fault.
They don't need us.
No, they don't. Women's liberation. You know what I'm saying? And also, nowadays, it's changed from back in the day where, if they had sex with more than one person or whatever, then automatically, they're shunned by the community, by their family, everything. Now it's, they can do it just like guys can do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, they still might get names and labels attached to them, but it's not as bad. They're not getting shunned by the community if they still holding their own, meaning they still got a job, they still paying their rent, they still got their own car, and all this other kind of stuff. They still out there making it, you know what I'm saying? Look at the woman on Scandal. That's a big time TV show. All the black women love Scandal. You know what I'm saying? She was single, you know what I'm saying? She finna get married to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Well, supposedly finna get married to the president dude or whatever the case may be. I guess the point I'm trying to say is that it's nothing that drives us to get married like it used to. It used to be the woman needed a man to provide. That's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? When you go back, now love might have been involved in that too. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but that was one of the main things because women weren't out in the society working and doing things like that.
So why the woman in the society work?
I think it's been a concentrated effort to break up the family home by the powers that be. It's a concentrated effort. For example, you remember back in the day, you know what I'm saying? A family, think about it like leave it to be. Husband, he worked. Mama was at home, making sure the kids were straight, making sure the food was straight, you know what I'm saying? Making sure the house was straight, you know what I'm saying? And the man worked. One income could support the house, the car, the wife, and the kids. Times have changed, you know what I'm saying? So now our income can't support all that. One income on a regular, middle income household can't provide this kind of side of life for all them people. You know what I'm saying? It just can't. So what it does is it forces the woman to work, right? Okay, now the woman's working. They're saying, hey, you're supposed to work. This is women liberation. Who watching the kids now? Now the kids, as y'all know, the kids is buck wild. You know what I'm saying? They buck wild. So now who watching the kids? The government, basically, the state. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're going to be institutionalized, some kind of juvie, or gonna be in jail later on, right? Or they get put on some drugs or something, some ADD drugs. Now everybody got ADD or whatever. It's because nobody can watch them. You don't have time. You know what I'm saying? If both parents work, you don't have time to watch these kids. So I think it's a concentrated effort to break up the family home, period. By promoting women's liberation, which is cool. I mean, I'm not against that, but that wasn't their intention, is to provide liberation. It was to break up the home. You know what I'm saying? One person can't provide now on a middle class income anyway. If you want to live middle class, you can't. You know what I'm saying? More and more people are becoming poor. Women have options. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of different reasons. Well, I don't think it's one reason. It's a whole lot of different reasons.
So it's the government fault, basically.
No. It's a whole lot of different reasons. It's the government, it's society, it's not one thing. But like I said, if you go back to the beginning, the main reason why people were coming together like that was for resources, was for property. Women were considered property back in the day. That's what they were. Unfortunately, I'm not saying that's right, but that's just the way it was. You know what I'm saying? Women were considered property.
And I can agree with the initial part of how marriage has been viewed, or how marriage has been tainted by men over centuries. I mean, that has a lot to do with the same-sex marriage and the inequality. I mean, that's another subject by itself, because a lot of people believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. Which that was the originality of it. That was the basis. That was the foundation of it. But once again, I mean, marriage has been tainted for so many years. Man has pretty much disgraced.
Devalued.
Yes, it really holds no value to where it was in the beginning. So, do I agree with same-sex marriage? Not necessarily, but that's not. I don't, because that wasn't the original plan for marriage. But I mean, over time, things do evolve, and that has been. So I mean, at this point in time, I mean, can you devalue something that's already at its lowest point? Because I mean, clearly we have, as a society, as human beings, have pretty much just made marriage into something that many do not want to do. We made marriage into something that I guess I'm not even sure how to put it. We made marriage into something that is not even I guess.
Well, let me ask y'all this. I mean, I heard you say you devalue marriage, and I heard you kind of basically, amen into that. But what is marriage supposed to be anyway? Who says what the original intent of that is? What is it all about? Do we even need it?
I mean, marriage was, like you said, man. The first thing that you hear about marriage is in the Bible. Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? That's something that people look at. Is the Adam and Eve aspect of it. And them birthing the child, son of family. That was the first marriage. That was the first recorded marriage. So, I mean, in essence, marriage is something that is ordained by God. That is something that He has planned or He has wanted us to do. And that's how we're actually made. So it really doesn't have anything to do with it. Marriage has feelings and things of that matter that comes into play. But when it comes down to it, that is how your body is made. That is the essence of your body. It's to cling to that woman. It's to cling to that man. It's to have a family, to have responsibility. To just one. To cling to just one.
A lot of polygamy in the Old Testament.
Yeah, because it was the laws of the land. Because you also have to follow the laws of the land as well.
There was no law saying they had to be polygamous. So they could have just had one.
Yeah, they could have just had one. So, but also too, it said whatever land that you are in.
Those rules you follow.
Exactly. That
Unless it was against God.
Exactly.
So if polygamy was against God, they wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, if polygamy was against God, they wouldn't have did it.
You know, obviously, you know, basically a lot of the Old Testament, you know, big time prophets, David, Moses,
Yeah.
you know, all, you know, Solomon, Saul, all them,
Yeah.
all of them,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Especially Solomon, you know, Solomon was going ham.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So basically, what I'm hearing is, and I agree with some of it. Like I said, that people not get married no more because they don't value marriage, and with the rise of, I guess, society. I mean, like Sam said, same-sex marriages are going up. People are more, I guess, cooler with gay and lesbian and things like that. So it's like, I mean, if you have two girls or two dudes together, of course, I mean, they can't get married to a woman or a man or whatever. So now that's two people out of the marriage situation. And like you said, I mean, with nowadays, I think some dudes be like, "Why get married? I got two to do the same thing." That type of thing.
Yeah,
Right. I think that's not the only thing. I think that's the two biggest things, and that's what I'm basically hearing what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
What y'all saying, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, I think. You know, I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
it's
a
just
lot of
one, you know, one simple answer. You know what I mean? I think it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? Depends on the situation you in, depends on where you live, depends on how you raise. I mean, it depends on a whole lot of everything, I believe.
So why get married?
I don't think there is no real reason to get married anymore. In the past, it used to be, like I was just talking about. But anymore, it's not no real reason. Now, the only reason to do it is because you want to. That's it.
So
There's no financial reason to do it. There's no, I need property, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to get married to marry into this family or whatever. It's not like
Man,
that.
she got money. Then.
I mean, I
It's prenups now, so.
I mean, I think that was a problem with, I mean, that's the reason why marriage has been tainted in the first place, is because of the financial reason and the financial, I guess the financial asset that you could gain from marriage. And I think that was the downfall of it, or the beginning of the downfall of it from the beginning. I mean, marriage, you're supposed to get married because you are in love with that person. Now, of course, love should not be your only reason to marry someone. I mean, you have to have logic in there as well. So, I mean, it's good to have both. You can't marry without either or. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, the marriage will not work. So, I think a lot of times people overlook one or the other. And that's why these marriages fail. That's why divorce rate is so high. So, I mean, in the end, like I said, I mean, I guess marriage now is really based off for anyone at this particular point. Marriage is really based off of course, first, do you love that person? And also, too, will that person be able to provide for you? Because in the end, love can only last so long, just like money can only last so long. You need both of them.
I mean, I think. I mean, there's a reason to get married. I mean, if you love that person, if you want to have a family with that person, I mean, it's a reason to get married instead of just going out and having 4 or 5 different families, like some of us are doing today. But I do see a reason to get married. I just don't think you should just go out and just hang out and have.
But what is the
different
reason
kids,
to
whatever?
get married?
Because you love that person. Because you
Right.
want to spend the rest of your life with that person.
Okay. But I mean, besides that feeling, you know what I'm saying? For example, if that feeling wasn't there, like in the past, if that feeling wasn't there, it didn't matter. We need to get married because I need to get access to what this family has, and this family needs to get access. This is why they arrange marriages and all that stuff. This is how it was from the beginning. This is what we talking about. This feeling stuff is new. You know what I'm saying? This is the new stuff. The way it has been. That's why I asked y'all about the whole devaluing of marriage. I'm like, is we devaluing marriage now because of what's happening now, or it sounds like what they doing? Y'all talk, like, for example, you mentioned the financial stuff and things like that. That's why it might be devalued, but that's how it was to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at first, you have to look at it too. What was recorded, because
Okay.
I mean, even in the Bible, every marriage wasn't recorded. Even in history, every marriage wasn't recorded. A lot of the marriages that are documented have been marriages of people who already had those assets, people who were already kings and queens. So at that point, a lot of times marriage to them was expanding the kingdom. So while the commoners are on the middle class people, their marriage was based off of who they love, who they fell in love with. So I think a lot of it has to do with what is recorded. I mean, now we have access to any and everything now. I mean, between social networks, the internet and TV, I mean, really nothing is left uncovered at this particular point. So I mean, that's another thing too as well. We have access to way more things than what they had in the past. So it's definitely it's different.
It's a different time.
Yeah, it's a different time. So we know more than what they did.
Sure.
So I'm gonna throw this out right here.
All right.
So what you know about marriage? Would you get married, or what would it take for you to get married, Nick?
Man, I'm the kind of person I'm open-minded. I'm open to all those kind of possibilities. I'm open to being married. I'm open to being single. What it would take for me to make that plunge, since I think out of the three, I don't want to get married. I think you've been fiancé, maybe.
I've been in a long relationship.
Engaged. Oh, you never been engaged?
No.
Oh, okay. You never been engaged? Okay, so I've been.
Stuff on me though.
My bad.
I know. Stop putting stuff on me, man.
You be talking that marriage stuff, so I thought maybe you was engaged or stuff like that. But you know, me being in it, you know what I'm saying, being in it, being out of it now, you know what I'm saying. So I've seen both sides of it. I've been through it and all this stuff. And so now being the age that I am, you know, I'm 36 now. Not, you know, I got married when I was 25. You know what I'm saying. So I was still relatively young when I got married and stuff like that. Yeah, I knew her since I was 23 at that time. You know what I'm saying. So we was about 2 years before we got married. And you know, I wasn't ready at that time when I got married. I wasn't ready because I didn't know what it took. I mean, I had never lived with a woman. You know what I'm saying. I never had to take care of somebody besides myself. You know what I'm saying. I came from a single parent home, so like I actually saw how it happens on a day-to-day basis. I mean, she had long-term relationships here and there, but you know, not 10 years full. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. So I just think at that time, 25, I wasn't 100% ready. And on top of that, I didn't know what it even took to raise a family or take care of a family, right? Some of you just gotta kind of learn on the job. And one thing about marriage and living with somebody is that you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know, like for example, everything's good, but you don't know it's gonna be a problem until it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? You know, she don't like this until it happens. You know what I'm saying? You don't like something until it happens. Hell, you might have thought something like, oh man, it would never bother me if she left her shoes on the floor. But then it just starts happening. It just starts bothering you. You know what I'm saying? It just comes from out of nowhere. It ain't your fault. You know what I'm saying? You just don't like it no more. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I'm to the point where I'm open-minded going forward to being married or not. Bottom line is, though, that if I do get married, I already know that, you know, since to me, there is no real world reason why I need to be married. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to have kids. I don't need to have somebody to call a wife, right? Because I can still have companionship without calling her my wife. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a woman who actually makes me feel like that's what I want to do. It's all about feelings at that point. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, so it's not the fact that I'm searching for this, right? I'm not searching for a wife. I'm not searching for a companion. If it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a feeling. It's gonna be an attraction. It's gonna be something that I can't deny. You know what I'm saying? But I don't let that define my life. Meaning, like, if I don't find that companionship, if I don't find this wife, I'm not gonna feel like my life is not fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be good either way. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna live my life to the best of my ability, do everything I always wish I could do, and I could reasonably do, no matter what. If somebody's willing to join me on that journey, let's go. So and if not, I'm good too.
So she got to touch your heart, then, huh?
Oh yeah. Because there's no other real reason for me. Like, why would I do it? You know, again, since there's no financial reason involved, I got everything. I can provide for myself. I already have a daughter, so I don't need a kid or whatever. I have no real need. Like, I just have to get married. Because why? Why? You know what I'm saying? I have companionship. I can go out and find a girl to date and to get married. I mean, obviously, there is some pluses and minuses in just dating versus being married. You know what I'm saying? But also, there's pluses and minuses in being married and not single as well. You know what I'm saying?
So she got to be a good girl, and make you feel like you want to get married?
Yeah, I really can't sit here and tell you, I can tell you, what I think this person would be. But you never know until it happens. You know what I'm saying? I've had thoughts of how, this is the only kind of girl I'm going to be attracted to, Beyonce type or something like that. But then I see somebody who is kind of big boned, and for some reason Nick like her. It ain't my fault. I didn't try to. I just like the girl. I don't even want to like her, but I do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she got a good personality. Maybe she's pretty. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I've come to the point where I try not to have preconceived notions. You know what I'm saying? I'm open-minded. It's like somebody selling you something at the door. They knock on the door. You know what I'm saying? I'll open the door and I'll check it out. What you got to offer. And if it's something that I'm interested in, come on in. And if not, no thank you. I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, I go open the door and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? To whoever knocks. That's all I'm saying. And that's how I do.
Yeah. So, what would it take for you to get married?
Man,
Exhale.
man, it would take a lot, bro.
She got to be able to cook for nigga Sam, boy.
She will be able to know how
Gotta
to
be
cook.
cooked. 4 meals a day.
He said,
But
"Oh,
but for real though, it would take a lot. Cause I mean, one thing that Nick had said was, I mean, now females are like dudes now. So, and I don't. I mean, really, I'm not gonna lie. I want one female who was like a dude. That's not. You know what I'm saying? I want one female who got more male friends than me. Just like, you know what I'm saying?
and they do. They do.
Yeah, you know
They
what I'm
do.
saying? That's just something that I don't find attractive, you know. I mean, really, it has a lot to do with trust. It has a lot to do with trust, and you know, and what her character and her name out there in the streets. I know this sounds extremely hood, but you want somebody who can not only uphold. If you marry somebody, that woman is a mirror of you. You know what I'm saying? Also, you're a mirror of them. So what you marry, that tells a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I want a woman who name is hell high, just like I believe my name is. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and of course, she got to touch my heart. I got to fall in love with her. But I mean, that is definitely something that is extremely important to me. And what is her name about? You know, so that's something that's a huge factor for me, bro.
Gotcha. Man, I guess for me to get married, man, it's just gotta trust and communication. I mean, I gotta be able to tell that person everything. And I haven't had that in the past, and you see where it got me. So I think, I gotta be able to basically leave that person with the with the family name, with the family finances, basically an empire, and trust that she knows everything about it and she can handle and keep it going without me. That's what I feel that I gotta have. And to do that, man, you gotta be honest. You can't be hiding a bank account here. You can't be hiding something over there, or you can't have a baby in the 2 other states. You gotta be open and to talk about everything. So that's kind of what I need, or what I would need. Yeah. So a couple of differences on why people don't get married, but you hear from ordinary people, ordinary dudes that got ordinary jobs. So there it is.